everybody, welcome to this panel discussion here. Good, we're going to talk about the business of streaming and how can we make big transformations from a cost challenge to revenue opportunities with ad video. We're going to look at ISPs, broadcasters, and of course the viewer. But first, let me call on stage my first guest. That's 𝙬𝙪𝙨𝙚 Raesig. He's the CEO of MainStreaming. 𝙬𝙪.
Hello.
Hi, nice to meet you. Great to be here. We're going to talk about cost challenges, which is always with CDN and peak traffic, big issue. But we're not going to spend too much time on that. We'll look how can we transform that into a revenue opportunity. So a few words about MainStreaming. So what are you guys doing?
So MainStreaming essentially is building out private CDNs as a service, especially through our edge delivery technology. So we're helping, different types of customers like OTT services, broadcasters, to manage peak video delivery of live video. So that's why we have especially big sports companies like 𝙬𝙧𝙧𝙚 and Sky as our customers that have very big demand in terms of quality, but also need to be assured that they can deliver the capacity. The sports events really have huge audiences in a very short peaky period of time. In order to deliver that, we obviously created infrastructure, but it's in this ecosystem that also the ISPs need to be, help and be part of the delivery of that, avoiding congestion and supporting it. But with traditional approaches and transit traffic, usually ISPs were not part also of the revenue stream that needs to happen there, and just supported with building out infrastructure.
But before we talk about ISPs, what about the viewers? We are all viewers of a Sky game or NFL or whatever is Olympics. The user doesn't want buffering. Everybody knows what that. But what's important for the broadcasters and let's say the content owners before we get to the ISPs?
So I think it's the level of control, visibility of how they deliver their content, and sovereignty, which is something that in the transition of classic broadcast to IP, you cannot 100% just give all that content that you in the past used broadcast backup systems, security around it, and just leave it as a best effort to an international global carrier as a CDN. So you want to have control, you want to have dedicated capacity that you can plan for. And the viewer expects obviously a level of quality as, he's paying probably a very high subscription fee for a premium sports service, that he has always brilliant quality and absolutely no buffering, and is experiencing the sports content that he pays for in the best way possible on large screens.
So clear what they want, the users' quality of experience is one of the things, keeping control on the quality and what I deliver. And you mentioned something that's interesting for the ISPs. They have not been part of the share the revenue in the past. They're the dumb pipe. They don't like to be in the dumb pipe.
Obviously.
So how do you change that?
Well, we go into partnerships where we basically combine our technology with the capacity there. So we're building dedicated platforms together that help on one side to manage the peaks in a different way on an event basis, but on the other side to really, build a piece of the infrastructure to make the dumb pipe the smart pipe, and enabling ISPs to also resell CDN services to their customers, and therefore upgrade the capacity that is available, because we don't have to go into all these transits all the time that are very costly for an ISP to build, and traditionally not really delivering any incremental revenue to them.
I think that's a good cue word to call our guest on stage. There he is. Miles McWilliams, please clap your hands for Miles. So, can we reveal? Yes, Miles is head of global business internet content and security solutions at Deutsche Telekom, located in the UK. So, we're here because I think we can disclose it. Surprise, surprise. The two have a partnership.
Yeah.
You have a cool success story to tell. So maybe Miles, I'll let you describe briefly what is it that you do and why do you do it? What's in for you?
Okay, so at the end of the day, it's always about our end user, making sure quality, performance, there is no issues. These are always, let's say, KPIs from any of a business point of view. We charge our end customers, or they are buying subscriptions for the services, be that on a broadband point of view, or be that from Magenta TV. All of this requires large investments from an infrastructure to deliver the best quality and performance to the end user. So we work with a number of partners. Today, obviously, I'm on the stage here. MainStreaming is one of those partners. We work with other partners in the market as well. And it's very much how to deliver the best performance to our end users that are outside of our network, be that on a mobile device or be that into the homes. And one of the advantages of using, let's say, MainStreaming's technology, they deliver a very good quality of service to these users outside of our network.
What are the biggest peaks that you experience in Magenta TV? Is that the soccer weekend? Is that the championship? Is it Olympics? All of that?
So it's a number of things, but this is a challenge not just for us as an ISP. It's a challenge for CDN players in the market. It's a big challenge for the broadcasters as well. We have no idea what is going to take place with their live event. We know that the football, for example, major big challenges, not just for us, but this is across the world. We've seen it with live events where boxing is taking place and there's been problems with large peak of traffic is taking place. So in particular for us, yes, we see a huge demand that is extremely challenging for us to forecast or even build an infrastructure to handle a sudden game. If one of the German games take place, the weather is bad outside, we see a large demand that takes place on that side. Yep. We've also find that if Germany is not doing well in the World Cup, traffic disappears. So it's how do we build this infrastructure for something that is unforeseen. We can't see it coming. Unfortunately, we don't have a glass ball. It'd be nice if we did have a glass ball and we knew exactly what was coming from the traffic point. But this is a challenge for us, in particular, and any other of the content players in the market. And remember, the big problem is, say, on a gaming, if I just go into gaming quickly, you've got Fortnite gone out, they have done a patch. At the same time, there's a football game going on. Nobody's expected this, and the big problem that we find is that within the gaming industry or software sort of side, they can happen at any time. But then we still got to contend with the actual gaming, a live game event that's taking place. And you may have another event that as well taking place. So these are challenges for any providers who are getting into the market that's looking to stream or address the software side of the business. And that's a challenge.
So, a few words from your side on that partnership, and how do you experience it?
So I think it's a two-sided partnership, and this is why I think it's a win-win for both sides. On one side, we help basically Telekom to deliver that experience outside of their own network, but we also enable them to sell CDN services to customers that also utilize other ISPs in the country. So we are building a platform that manages that orchestration in a very dedicated way. So together we can guarantee the capacity and the quality to a customer, even for that large-scale events, because we build out a shared but still controlled and orchestrated platform that justifies a different setup in the industry than we used to have.
You work with some of the biggest players on the planet. You mentioned DAZN, Sky, Deutsche Telekom. So is Tier 1 your sweet spot? Is that where you mostly are active?
Well, I think we are, our USP is to build dedicated solutions in the CDN space, especially in the private CDN, but also as a managed service. And the big demand is coming from obviously people who bet still on the quality side, and not just to have the cheapest solution on the planet without being in control and just working on a best effort basis. So this is obviously where our customers have their focus, and this is where we try to build the right solutions around them, being super focused only on video. So thanks God, gaming update problem, we're not having it that way.
Somebody else's problem.
It's somebody else's problem. But we also build solutions around it that help that whole ecosystem thrive, because quality of experience is one thing that drives a big sports broadcaster, but piracy is another one.
Yeah.
And being in control of the full pipe together with the ISP, we can provide a different set of solutions to help anti-piracy solutions work in that combination. And we have a lot of solutions for that as well that we're pushing forward.
This all sounds fantastic. You just put CDN at the edge and everything will be fine. But I think there's some homework you need to do before. So if you, for the audience, some takeaways, what do they need to clean the house before they think big?
Well, I was going to answer this a bit earlier, but I thought I'll leave it to the end.
Yeah, save the best for last.
We're an ISP. There's many ISPs in the market. What are we good at? Part of that is building a dumb pipe. And I hate to use the term of a dumb pipe, but technically that's what it is. We're good at building an infrastructure and of a network. That's it. When it comes to building of, or even trying to get into the environment of building a CDN or secret source, or trying to sort of get into that, it's not something that we want to do. My advice is really for any organization, and even from an ISP point of view, is do what you're best at. So we're good at doing what we do. There is an ecosystem. So utilize those players out in the market that are specialized in what they do. Work with them closely because it helps us also to reduce issues that we face on our network point of view. But without that ecosystem, there is no business.
Yep.
So again, stick to what we're good at. Try not to get involved in other things. And typically, you give anything to an ISP, we're going to mess it up. We like to tinker on things. It takes long times for deployments, and rather bring these specialities of different organizations to the table that can help us get to the market far quicker to address the biggest demand on the biggest issues we face as an ISP is this sudden growth as people are moving away from satellite and people are becoming more on fixed. This is a big challenge for any provider in the market. How do we continue to handle this growth? And we see other players also, there's players that are moving out of the market or have dropped out of the market, but how do I handle it as an ISP? So I have to work closely with them in the market.
I see the lady with a sign and we're running out of time. So Tassilo, one last sentence, quick, before the turn off the mic.
I think, the secret sauce is that you need to find the right partnerships. So it creates really that, both sides benefit.
You said partnerships, not supplier.
Not supplierships, because this is where we say a price and you say, I want to have a plain vanilla solution. That's a supplier relationship. But we really need to develop solutions that fit to our customers' requirements, to the end users in the telecoms network, but also into the OTT services. And there's a variety of in between. And as Miles pointed out, we are not building dumb pipes. We build smart edges. So we don't have any crossover, and create that really, great setup that, delivers quality at also reasonable cost.
Perfect. Thank you, Miles. Thanks for being here. Thank you, Tassilo. Big applause for the two speakers, please.